He goes for an overbet. This is pretty grim. Do we want to be a hero and fold here? Like, it's some reads. I don't think we got in this. So we're going to call. Maybe we... Oh, I think turn may have saved us. Maybe. Have aces and double check, please. I'm still giving him aces, and I'm still seeing a check. That's what I'm saying. We're going to check again. Very few king X. Aces! Pow! We did it. Wide party if PokerStars is softer. PokerStars is softer, but the rate's higher and the rake back is lower. And so the hours are pretty similar. I really enjoy party at the moment. Like, I like the fact that no HUDs, and I like their approach. It's also Chippy V's. So stars have their policy of the 2x being lower blind levels. Yeah, I'm a big fan of party. Also waiting for a game. Okay, we're going to unregister this. We got a game at the hundreds. 2 regs for a change, but it's okay. We can play in reggae games. Try the best. Fold the 3-7 off. We will be getting in pocket 2s, pretty much whatever. Good luck to our opponent. Please don't have 3s plus. Xenophobic. Xeno, now you know where that word comes from. It's a Greek root, isn't it? So, if anything, you were bringing it. GI1309. Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. Hope you're doing well. As we're tell that joke wobble about the bread basket, no? They get in a 7 against 10s, and we're going to be heads up against Mr. Pro 8 Lem unless we have ace, but which we don't. And we have 8-4 off. Start with a check. Flopping in a pair. Starting with a check. Pro 8 Lem, certainly a good reg. Plays high stakes for a long time. I think is Polish. I believe friends with Kamil, one of our guys. But certainly a good player. He also uses big sizing. They're becoming a lot more part of the meta, let's say. Part of the climate. So we start with check call, and we'll be check calling the turn as well, if he just chooses a barrel. Really tricky spot against the triple. We would check call some 10x, for example. So we certainly have that in our range, which means we don't have to go too wildly wide. 8 of clubs is not a bad spot to call turn and fold rivers, because, for example, he will barrel some club draws, but he probably won't fire them on the river. So it's good in terms of having that blocker. Calling. That's a diamond. We start with check, certainly. Don't see any need to lead. We're not really getting better hands to fold if we start donking here. And we have a pretty happy time just check folding the river, I think. So diamond's definitely part of our range. Our opponent, if he's bluffing, should, I guess in theory, look for hands which have a diamond. No straight blockers out there, so it's a very easy under-bluff spot at times. But yeah, we will be folding. Going to raise the king 4 suited. Shine. Hey mate, are you playing also the spinning ultras? Are they proper in your opinion, or is there too much RNG, random number generation, for those not aware of the poker lingo? I would play the Spinningo Ultras. I have played Spinningo Ultras. I prefer Spinningos in general. Spinningo Ultras are definitely can be profitable. Whether they offer the same hourly as normal spins is very dependent on a few factors, such as the let's say the reg to rec ratio in the games, as we're going to go for a c-bet here. But the reason I wouldn't play ultras is because they don't have them at the high stakes. It also probably wouldn't be a game I would play that frequently if they did offer them high stakes ultras. But yeah, in this situation, I'm pretty happy to what's the word? Carry on playing my normal spins. I think we can go for another barrel here. So we unblock a lot of the continues you'll have. I'm going to actually go for it, and I think I might be setting up a triple. There's a lot of reasons why this hand can be good to double barrel, blocking a lot of the combinations our opponent can have in terms of check raising. Also unblocking, for example, any of the high card with a diamond or backdoor hearts, for example. When we check, we have a pretty awkward spot, and I think our hand also works quite well as a semi-bluff. So if you think about it, we still have 5 outs against any higher pair that he has if he's got an ace-x that he's check-called. And so I think it works pretty well as a turn bluffing barrel. Wouldn't always go for it, but I think in that spot works fine. If I made $1 million in a spin, I probably would still Twitch stream, just because I think it's quite fun. So, that's not... I'm sorry, guys, you can't... That's not a way to stop me twitching. It's just, give me $1 million. I'm going to keep going. We'll be getting ace-queen off. 1/3 sizing. We'll give it a go. Is that right? 5.5, I think it is. Setting up 11. SPR 1. Just doing maths. Quick math. 2 + 2 is 4. We're checking. We're limping, and we're going to probably shove over an ISO. Our opponent feels a pretty good spot to ISO to me if I was him, and so certainly could take it. We're going to check. Certainly a very nice board for our opponent to be probing a lot. We have a very easy call on most turns. 3 is very nicely disguised. That 7 is not ideal because it does give him an awful lot of equity, but at the same time it gives him an awful lot of equity. But now of course our 3 is very, very, let's say, undervalued in terms of being a clean out. So as played, I think we're just going to check again. I'm not looking to fire the turn here. King is a nice card for us in terms of prevent... He does have some king x's, may choose not to bet. It's a nice card in terms of preventing him from going for thin values. So will be and maybe some bluffs in terms of maybe a card that he thinks we're trying to represent with his showdown. He actually chooses the bluff here, which is kind of interesting to see that. So like, is this just value? We have a lot of... sorry, is this just bluffs? Because it's not thin value. It's not a 7x or a 5x, I don't think. And it could be a 4x, although check raising the 4x already makes no sense. I'm going to end up making a call here. I think there's enough air in our opponent's range, hopefully, to justify it. He has a 7, absolutely fine. Pretty interesting play in terms of checking the turn and then betting the river. I quite like it. So, yeah, well played to our opponent. He wins that fair and square. Mr. M Contact, how many tables do you play when you're not streaming? I have played up to 6. My, let's say, average table count is going to be 2. I quite like... I don't actually get to play that much. We're calling here, check calling with the King 5. I mean, we have such a 2x advantage on this turn, so I guess we're just going to go for it as a little block. Or do we? Do we just check? Let's min bet. Basically, the idea is just to have him fold air. 7-8 off or whatever. Okay. Maybe we chop now. Maybe we win. Maybe he checks back with Queen Jack. Queen Jack's only in his range. King Jack we chop with. Kind of interesting spot if he bets. So there is ace-x in his range. Would he value bet a 10x? Very hard for him to have air here. We do block some of the air that he could have if he has a lower gut shot of 4-5, 3-4, 5-4. I expect this just to be value and ace high, looking to get a call from random. So we're going to fold. Igorns, thank you very much for the follow. Hope you agreed with my fold there. What did you think? Should I have called that river? Who knows? But yeah, we're gonna do that. Ryan, you're correct. I do normally 8 to 12 table. Yeah. We shove the 10 jack, we get called by King 5. Looking for some help. Looking for some help. There's some help. Very nice. Ace King, next hand. Happy days. Our opponent's tanking. Okay, and they tank fold. 3-7 suited. Raising or limping, I think both are absolutely fine. We're going to start with a raise. Ace king off again. Always nice to just keep getting hands. Again, we get another fold. Kind of interesting that we see 2 consecutive folds there. Like makes it from a Bayesian inference more likely that our opponent is under VPipping slightly, because it's a 95% VPip spot, and so to have 2 consecutive folds means that perhaps he's more likely playing 85% or something in this situation. At least makes it more likely. So he should be cautious about over-ISOing him, certainly, if his VPip is dropping. We're going for a bet, of course. A-side boards. Plenty of value. That's, as Oscars and Alan Watts would say, a brilliant turn. Maybe. A lot of flushes in our opponent's range. He has some backdoor spades. We block a few of the backdoor spades he could have. So he has, for example, he can't have a hand like 10-8 suited, Jack-8 suited, King-8 suited of spades. So that gives him more heart combinations. He's certainly not folding any of the heart combinations. Question of how much sizing. I think 3.5 seems pretty solid to me. We're going broke. If he's got us beat at this point, we're going broke. But I like this sizing because I think it allows him to, obviously, he's very inelastic. I think with a 1-heart combo, he can't exactly call that flop with like King-5 with a King of Hearts and then fold the turn. So we get max value against that, but also sets up stacks better on the river, so we're happy with that as well. We're going to start with check back with 7-5 off and just be check folding this board. Sinead's playing the spin and go flashes on stars because it's a faster way to get the rake back chance from me, and I feel like I have an edge over most players there. Playing the $2 games. You still make no profit. They are the Chippy V, attainable Chippy V is a lot lower, let's say. And so even at the $2 games, your Chippy V, what you can make is limited. You should, in theory, be able to make some profit pre-rake back at the $2 games. I would imagine they're hopefully not a very rake-heavy environment, but maybe the micro stakes have changed since I was last there. This is a board where like everybody over limp stabs. Ace 2-3 shouldn't be actually 100% limp stab board. And with Queen I, we're actually going to start with a check, which I think will do better for ourselves. And we're actually just going to fold here if he comes out probing. He has a massive 2x advantage. In terms of value hands that we would check here, if I'm totally honest, probably a bit imbalanced and wouldn't have too many. But from a theoretical point of view, we obviously have some hands. We're going to check again. Take Queen High to the river. Does he come out firing at this point? Does he? Okay, let's check. I'm hoping to be up against 10-6 off. 5-6 suited. Interesting to see him not probe that, so I think that, again, demonstrates a little bit of the fear factor when you check an ISO board against regs, which is kind of reasonable. It's like weird, and the let's say the reg meta, if you like, is to see bet all around those boards. And so when you check, it's something like, oh, he's got showdown. Has he got kings? Has he got aces? Has he got 4-5? Has he got 3x? What's going on? And so even with a hand that has as much potential equity against a lot of hands as 5-6 suited, just ends up checking and doesn't bluff river. We may have called river as well, but yeah. We could check raise this, but we're just going to check fold, I think. It's a turn and nothing more. Well, we're absolutely spot on there. 9-7 suited, we're just going to jam this for 11. I believe $2 is a little bit too low currently to join the development wing. I think it's $10 minimum. Someone else can correct me on that. But hang around, Sinead, hang around, and you can keep learning the glimpses from here. And of course, any questions, do feel free to ask them. We take a limit 4-6 off. We could certainly also go for a fold here, but we try it. He's been folding a bit. We thought we might try and not fold. Mocha Choca bringing up some philosophical stuff. We call with the king check off. We're up against king 5. We are happy. We are still happy. We're happy because our opponent loses, Mocha. That's why we're happy. We're happy because these chips are no longer his. It's all me and my ego has won this pot. We're gonna shove the ace-8 off for $750 in a flip. Not in a flip anymore. 2 outs. We fade them. $750. Good news, gentlemen and ladies. We will have probably enough to play some 500s this evening. That's very good.